Good morning, E-Town, and welcome to this edition of E-Town Live. It's Friday, September 4th, and we are ending up our third week of this school year and heading into the long anticipated Labor Day weekend. I have a hunch that everybody listening in this morning is feeling the same way. But I'm Eric Witherspoon, I'm the superintendent. I'm joined by Marcus Campbell. Dr. Campbell is the assistant superintendent and principal of ETHS. And I'd just like to begin reflecting a minute or two on what we're seeing with COVID. Because there's no question, we are deep into a pandemic. I know that it's been going on a while, long while, and I know that in a lot of ways it's just hard to keep being reminded of all of the health scares and health threats that we're dealing with right now. But we are anticipating that we will remain on e-learning here at ETHS throughout the first semester. We're by no means alone in that. Schools all around us are on e-learning. High schools in the area, as ETHS, have already announced and indicated that we anticipated will be on e-learning throughout the first semester. And we are already starting to calculate ahead what might happen after the first of the year. But, we look at what's happening to colleges and universities. We look at what's been happening in the state of Illinois as of today. Red flags continue to go up in the state of Illinois. We know the governor has been making some modifications to the requirements that he has. And I just want to give a word of encouragement as we start out this morning. When we're in the mindset that this is today's reality, and that we're going to have to deal with this reality for the coming weeks and even throughout the fall semester, I think it helps us to just get ourselves centered in the fact that a lot of things are working well. I mean, a lot of things are working well, but there are also a lot of trade-offs. And if we can make the things that are working well continue to happen while we understand and accept the trade-offs, we're going to continue having a good first semester, and we're going to have a great school year. Dr. Campbell.
Thank you, Dr. Witherspoon. Good morning, everyone. As Dr. Witherspoon mentioned, there's still quite a bit that's happening with regard to COVID, and my encouragement, admonition is just to make sure that you're continuing to engage the safety protocols and procedures. We're still in the middle of a pandemic, and we just want everyone to be safe. There's also still a lot of racial unrest in the country. Every day I turn on the news, there's another story, there's another incident, something that's happening in our country, and I just want to recognize that. We want to recognize and honor that this is a tough time for a lot of people of color, black and brown folks, a tough time for a lot of black people. And you may be wondering, what can you do? If you're a white person, just be a good friend if you've got friends of color. Don't ask too many questions. Just be a good friend, be a good listener, be a good neighbor, and just recognize that this is a really tough time for people of color in this country right now. So I'm going to turn that back over to Eric.
Wow. Thank you, Marcus. And what a good reminder for all of us who are white and have the privilege of being white to remember what a painful time this is. And even as a white person, when I'm feeling the pain, how can I imagine what it's like to walk out the front door every day as a black person or a brown person in this country? So thank you for lifting that up.
Yep.
I do want to mention that one of the things that the pandemic is making possible for us is we're able to create some new normal. And we're actually able to look at some of the things that we did in the past and re-examine them and decide, you know what, maybe there are some actually improved ways that we can do some things. And one of them is regarding semester exams. We announced just within the last week or so that there will not be regular semester final exams at the end of either of the semesters this school year. Actually, we have been moving away from them for some time. We have many teachers who in the recent years, they may use that exam period to collect final projects, or to have students make an authentic presentation, or to have some kind of multimedia project that's maybe done by an individual student or done by a group of students. There are so many more authentic ways in the 21st century to actually assess how well students are learning, creating, doing creative problem solving, synthesizing what they're learning, and demonstrating that it's more than just taking a written test. Although as a former English teacher, I put a lot of stock in writing and written tests, but that doesn't mean that that is what is the best approach in every single class. So we know that our staff has really been utilizing more and more multidimensional and authentic assessments, and by not taking up all those extra weeks at the end of the semester, where students who still feel that they have to cram for exams at that point in time, or have to ask the teacher, is this going to be on the exam? Implying if it's not, I'm not even going to pay attention to it, and instead understanding your learning is the most important thing. And getting the gestalt, getting the big picture of what you've learned and pulling that together in meaningful and new ways is what deep learning is all about. So we're on it, and we wanted that announcement to come out early. Again, it's not a big departure from what many of our teachers have already been doing for the last few years, but we really wanted everybody to understand we aren't going to be able to administer exams in person the way that we would have done it in the past anyway, and it's time to re-examine ourselves if that's even the best way to assess learning.
Thank you, Eric. Just a couple of other things to note during this time. Well-being is also an important piece for us as we continue in e-learning this school year. Even the adult, whether it's the staff or family members, we need to be reminded about well-being. So during all of these Zoom meetings and Google Meets and calls, just please be sure to take breaks when you can, stand, stretch, take a drink of water, maybe get some sun if you can do that. Give your eyes a break, clear your mind, breathe deeply. Do these things when needed. It's very important that we maintain a sense of calm and engage in these practices of mindfulness. And maybe in the next eTown Live, we'll be sharing some information as to how we will be engaging students weekly in some mindfulness practices that will be just beneficial for students and staff. So the asynchronous schedule on Mondays is also an important support for well-being. Students can work independently on their own time to complete work and assignments. This new approach to class time can be beneficial to students in many ways. So Monday is not an off day, it is an asynchronous learning day. So all of the projects and things that students can do independently, that's the time, there's time on Monday to be able to do that. On an upcoming Monday, September 14th, teachers will have an opportunity to introduce themselves to you and what they're teaching this year. Since ETHS will not be hosting a traditional open house, September 14th has been earmarked as an asynchronous activity during the school day. So teachers will be sending various things home to introduce themselves to families. Some of them have already done it. A lot of them have already done it through their course expectations, and so they may revisit that, or they may be engaging some other platform to introduce themselves so that they know so that you know what's happening in the classroom. We'll be sending out some more information, some clarifying information in the coming days, so that if there are any questions that have come up with the recent communication, but we will not be hosting our traditional open house, but teachers will be sending some things home so that you are familiar with who they are and the content for the class. This week we shared some basic information about what families and students can expect, and we are understanding that there are lots of moving parts to all of this. So stay tuned for more information to come about September 14th. Again, we do not want to add Zoom fatigue that everyone's feeling, so our planning for these coming activities will not be business as usual. That's very important to note that.
Great distinction, and thank you very much on that one, Marcus. I want to stick to my theme of the new normal and how there are things changing, and again, not all for the bad. One of them is that we just learned from the USDA this week that there is a much more liberal approach to providing meals for school-age children, young people during this pandemic. And so, unlike in the past where you'd have to first of all qualify and show your ID and all of those requirements for meals, for the remainder of this calendar year, all the way up through December 31st, school districts are able to provide meals to all students who want them at no cost. That, of course, then goes for not only our district, ETHS, that goes for District 65 as well. So here's the new plan and distribution system. Every Monday, any family that wants a week's worth of breakfast and lunch meals for the school-age students in their home can go to any of the 7 sites in Evanston. That would include here at ETHS as well as the sites that have been advertised with District 65 as well. And we'll be sure we continue getting that information available to you. But do know that if you want a week's worth of breakfasts and lunches, it's every Monday. You can go and pick them up at one of the distribution sites. I'll mention, however, that we have Labor Day this coming Monday, so that distribution will start next Tuesday, September 8th. And I hope lots of people will take advantage of that. I also want to mention that there is a program called Comcast Internet Essentials, where Comcast offers internet to any family that would qualify for a greatly reduced access to the internet. And you can find all those details on our website. The first 2 months are completely free, and it's a very modest amount of a fee that would be after that. But if anybody wants that connectivity through Comcast, check it out. And it is available, and it is truly affordable. That said, don't forget that we still provide hotspots. And if you do not have connectivity at your home, and what we're finding is our students apparently now all do, because we're seeing great attendance every day, or unreliable connectivity, and this is the part I wanted to get to, let us know. And we do have hotspots available, and we would definitely want our students to be able to be connected to good high speed and good reliable internet. Marcus?
All right. So yes, there's still a lot of information being shared. So please reach out to the appropriate department person that is listed there in case you have questions. So there's now more information about the new sports contact day. So please be sure to contact the athletics department should you have any questions about that. There's also a new mobile self-certification process for students and staff that you can self-certify before you come to campus. That is, if it takes you through the questions of having been out of the state or having any COVID symptoms or been in contact with any person with COVID, you can self-certify and answer no to those questions and come to the school. And if you answer yes to any of those, you probably won't be permitted on campus. So there's a new mobile self-certification for both students and staff that you can engage. It will make your entry or your arrival to ETHS a lot quicker and smoother. If you haven't self-certified, you can still come to the building, but we will certify you here, and if there are any issues, we will address them when you arrive. But take advantage of the mobile self-certification process. Our IT staff has just done an amazing job with a lot of things here at ETHS over the past several months and years, but particularly to this crisis, they've been fantastic. And we're just pleased to announce that we have a way for our students and staff to self-certify prior to coming to school. So Dr. Witherspoon,
Well,
our closing.
and thank you for that reminder. Those of us who do come in to ETHS to work every day are doing the same thing. We're certifying, we're having our temperatures checked, and we are closely monitoring our health conditions. I want to just remind everybody, though, take care of yourself, protect yourself, wear those masks, wash your hands, do your social distancing. Again, you know, as I mentioned at the beginning of the program, we sometimes habituate. Well, this has been going on a long time, you know, I'm getting used to it. We can't get used to this. And in fact, there are way more cases in Illinois and in this region right now than there were when we announced on March 13th that we were dismissing school because of the dangers of COVID. The danger has not gone away. The danger has increased. And to anybody who communicates to young people in particular, please, please remind them, we want them to be safe and healthy. No school on Monday. I've mentioned it a couple times now. It's Labor Day. Students, you don't need to log into your e-learning, and we'll see everybody on September the 8th. Don't forget, because it is so true, it's a great day to be a wild kid.